Let me remind you that in the description of this tutorial I'm posting the link of the verification and the validation difference previously uploaded tutorial. So let's go deep diving in this very critical and very important verification for our first CCP in our orange juice example in our HACCP plan, the pasteurization process. The first verification are very important, the microbiological testing. These frequency are according to the previous principles. For example, in the previous for the principle number 2 and 3 and 4 we have mentioned that each 1 hour, for example, and maybe each lot or each batch, whatever the SOP you are starting and implementing in your HACCP plan or in your SOP related to the pasteurization. Okay, so the tests are done either each lot or each batch or each 1 hour or each 2 hour, whatever the process you are mentioning. Okay, so I will add here this frequency. And the methodology: in the production line, I monitor the temperature and time. The temperature 137.8 Celsius for 2 seconds, or from 90 to 150 Celsius for 25 to 30 seconds. And in the laboratory, I am conducting tests to detect my pathogenic microorganism, the Salmonella and the E. coli. So the verification: first one are the microbiological testing verification. My records are the lab records, the pasteurization records on the lines. All these records are very important, and be careful that the record keeping procedures are must be well controlled, like signing of the people, the accurate time, the accurate batch number, the accurate data, the updated document in your documentation process. The responsibilities, as the previous principles, will be for checking the temperatures and time will be by the production labor each 1 hour, okay, and by the quality inspector each 2 hours. Here temperatures and time for pasteurization, okay, and for the checking for the microbiological results will be done by the laboratory analyst. So here we are controlling the verification by the microbiological testing. The second verification, we are calibrating the pasteurization machine, which is very important. Again, any machine or any equipment, you must ensure that it is well maintained in the maintenance structure and in the maintenance plan, that there is a dedicated maintenance for this equipment or for this machine, and parallel to it immediately the calibration. So the calibration of this pasteurization machine will be either according to original equipment manufacturer, which is OEM, or according to your risk assessment. Maybe the manufacturer are mentioning on a monthly basis and you are saying no, I will do it internally. I can mention here slash internally calibration in weekly basis, because it's very critical. So you are free, but whatever the rule you have set, please ensure that you are complying with this rule. The method I'm performing using calibrated tools like the calibrated thermometers and calibrated timers to ensure that these temperatures are well calculated and the numbers or any timing are well reported in the machine. And of course, the laboratory devices also, you must ensure that the devices used in your analysis, in the microbiological analysis, are also calibrated. So the records supporting the calibration immediately. The calibration records and the calibration certificates if you are calibrating these equipment by third party. So the responsibilities will be either the laboratory analyst or a specialist, the quality inspector, maybe external third party, authorized party, and approved calibration authority. So these two are very important in your verification approach in your plant. And now we are talking about the audits, as mentioned also in our previous OPRB, internal or external audit. The team must be trained, the internal audit team, to be trained. So the approach will be either by interviews, records views, and physical observation on the lines by trained internal auditors or accredited external bodies. The audit report with smart corrective action. These are the supporting documents. And finally, who will be responsible of this documentation will be either the external auditor or food safety team or the internal trained or internal audit team. So the other thing, for the verification, we have mentioned now 1, 2, 3. The fourth part of the verification of your pasteurization process are the record keeping procedures for pasteurization process. The frequency of this reviewing of this document will be, for example, monthly archiving and revision, and to be disposal after 5 years or whatever the policy you are putting in your plant. So there is review and there is disposal. Some plants or some organizations are tending to have that, for example, the life cycle of this product are 1 year, so they are keeping their documentation, hard copies or soft copies, for 2 years to just control if there is any critical food safety complaint, to have the documents to support in the investigations. So you will have monthly archiving and revision. We can say record keeping. You will have weekly revision or monthly revision also, or monthly archiving, and disposal after 5 years. This is all our brainstorming. Okay, the methodology that you are documenting all the monitoring activities, the corrective actions, the smart corrective actions, and the verification activities, including either calibration reports, maintenance records, and deviations are very important. CCP deviation and the root cause of these deviations. So these are the supporting documents. The records here also, the monitoring records, the corrective action records, the verification records, and the CCP deviation. It will be responsible. The responsibilities will be by the quality supervisor, quality manager, or food safety team. And if it's here related to the maintenance records, so the maintenance manager also must be involved in this responsibility. It's very important, this part about the verification of your pasteurization process. Okay, there is another verification, are the sensory evaluating. Sensory evaluating, because after pasteurization there is product, and this product are immediately packed or filled to the bottle, and after that to be capped. So there must be a quality check, and this quality check are the sensory evaluation. So you are the production labor are evaluating the sensory each 4 hours, and the quality inspector are making sensory evaluation each 8 hours. In this sensory evaluation, you are evaluating the taste, the smell, and the texture. Maybe you can add some items. Maybe you can remove some items. We can, for example, we can here add the color, maybe the bricks, whatever you have in your procedures. And the sensory evaluation records will be supporting records, and finally it will be responsibility by the production labor and the quality inspector, and maybe later on to be assigned by the quality manager and the production manager. That the so I can write it here. Quality manager, sorry, and production manager. Okay, perfect. Let's continue. Oh, we have mentioned before, any machine immediately have these two pillars, calibration and maintenance. And maintenance according to the OEM, according to the preventive maintenance plan, okay, according to the overhauling of your lines. And after the maintenance activities, you must ensure that you have, let me write it here, very important thing. Let's write it in the supporting document. The startup test, because maybe after you have done a maintenance to the machine or to the equipment, there is any error done, you didn't recognize it, so you must have startup test to test your product, test your parameters on your machine, then you continue production instead of mass production. Then oops, that there is an issue in the temperature control in the machine even after the overhauling. So we must test our machine after any maintenance after any maintenance activity. And of course, very important thing after the maintenance, the cleaning. We're mentioning it, the startup cleaning, because maybe there is any traces of grease, maybe any traces of uh, lost nails, whatever the physical hazard, maybe tools, maybe gloves, maybe whatever, anything related to the or during the overhauling, maybe the wooden box you have storing the machine inside it, or storing the spare parts inside it. So all these parts are very important. We can also mention here spare parts, sorry, spare parts inventory, to ensure that the right spare parts are installed in the pasteurization machine. The responsibility now are mainly for the maintenance or the technical team. For example, the maintenance supervisor, the maintenance manager may be external third party authorized and approved calibration authority. While calibrating the machine, we have assigned the contract between the company and the calibration authority to calibrate and maintain in the same time, so you don't have any interaction between you and the machines. The last thing will be the validating of the pasteurization process. Thank you so much, everybody, and please stay safe. Best of luck for all of you, and please write for me any comments you want me to improve my tutorials in the future. Thank you so much, and goodbye.